basically what I'm doing is I'm just getting the area prepared,
Yeah.
you know, to do the development of the Polaroid system. It's kind of like yesterday what we did is we did a, it's kind of like I told them to be Polaroid. Think of it as a Polaroid camera. The picture will develop as you do it. So, you know, don't sit there and think that you have to have everything right off the bat, because it's going to develop as you go. So basically what I'm doing now is I'm laying in the horizon line in a blue. It's hard to see. Most people can't see it.
I think from the angle I'm at over here, like the way it's shining off of the canvas, I can really see the blue on my camera.
That's good. That's good. There's not a lot of time you can.
And then you
Oh,
look at
yeah.
the painting. Isn't that crazy how different
So
it is?
Yeah.
it's kind of different.
I think it helps show like your marks and stuff better though.
Yeah.
I'm close to it, and I can see what I'm doing. Likewise, sometimes you may not be able to see that. So I'm just laying in some Prussian blue, a little bit of lavender, mixture of Prussian blue and
That's crazy.
alizarin crimson.
So then what is it called again? The liquid something?
The liquid clear.
Yeah. So
It-
that just helps blend your colors, fade
Exactly.
them
It
in.
helps to, what it does is it helps to smooth as you're doing the brush stroke. See how easy my brush is going?
Mm-hmm.
So when you try to do it as a traditional painter, you can do it with linseed oil, you know, and it's no big deal. But what happens is you, if you try to do it dry, you have a tendency to use a lot of paint, or your paint sticks. You know, your brush doesn't want to flow across the canvas well. What this does is it allows you, just like putting a coat of linseed oil on a traditional, allowing the brush to flow a lot easier, which can make your painting a lot more enjoyable. And, you know, different things like that. So it's all a preference on what you want to do. I mixed a little bit of red and yellow. I'm going to get in some red and yellow areas right in here. This will pop a lot better when you put the white on. See, you may be able to barely see it now, but it's there. And when I start the white process, it'll just pop like it's been there for a while. So just remember to reflect whatever's in the sky needs to reflect in the water area, so you can put a little bit of reflective quality right in through here in different areas. You can blend it until, you know, you get where you like it. I'm not going to put a beach in this scene because it'll be in a demo. I'm just going to kind of go with just a body of water. Looks pretty good. So we've got our kind of like an underpainting for when you're doing acrylics or anything like that. And turn around, and now we start to see where the picture is going to start developing. So we'll take, primarily we're working with white to do this process. We'll do what's called very light wispy clouds. Can't tell you what the name of the clouds are, but basically what you'll do is you'll take the brush and just roll it different ways and keep the brush moving. Never start to leave it there or by itself. Just keep moving, twisting it. Need some more paint, grab some more paint. You should be picking up the blues and the lavenders and everything like that, you know. We're going to be blending as we do this, and you'll see how well you can soften the clouds. I'll be pulling in my big 2-inch brush to do this.
Tiny canvas.
All right, I'm going to put my light source kind of, kind of blend this in a little bit over here. As I get further away from where my focal point could be, and if it's middle of the canvas, on the side of the canvas, it all depends on what you want to do, where you want your focal point to be. But compositionally, you want it to fade out over in this area. Clean your brush quite often. Make sure you get kind of pure red color, or white color. Now I'm going to take a big 2-inch brush, and I'm just going to circle it to blend. And I'm barely touching the canvas. I'm not touching it much. I'm just going to soften the area. Doing circles constantly. And what that allows to do, it makes it seem like an actual cloud, but they're very thin clouds, So it's kind of giving it, put some color in you, along almost like the Borealis, the Northern Lights. So we got that done. Now with this one, I want to kind of just do this, almost a seed mark. I want to soften upwards. Just to soften the area. What it does too, when you're softening and blending, it allows the paint to get down into the pores of the canvas, so you're not showing a lot of texture in the canvas and things like that. So I'm going to grab some more white. I want to lighten this area up again, right in here. I can do this until I get the lightness that I want. Mix a little of the blue that's on the canvas already and a little bit of yellow, brightens it up even more. And the way I do it is it's a light touch to get used to the way the brush is going to move and the textures I want to leave. So get the blender brush again, wipe it off, and then just barely touching it. We'll blend it out to where I feel like it. So what I like, for me it looks pretty good. And go back up here, make sure I get the marks out. And if I want to, I can go back in, say I want some clouds up to show the darker areas, then I can.
Okay, we're rolling.
Okay, so basically we're going to go back into the clouds. I want to brighten this up a little bit. We're going to do that twisting and turning again just to brighten it up.
Is that the real time? You never know what the clocks are.
I just get a little bit of, leaving that negative space in there is a good thing, because that adds to depth. So when you do it, just make sure you get pure color, as pure as you can, and watch your brush every so often, get it in there, but leave that negative space. And if you don't like it, you can always take it out. It's not hard, just blend it out. So we'll do that, just pick up the big brush again, and little tiny circles. Blend it out to the likeness that you like. And just work your way there. So, and then we're just going to quickly just go over the whole thing, blend it all, lift up. And then now we can start working on the water. Constantly cleaning the damn brush. Feel like that's what we do all day. Clean brushes. So on this one right here, we're still going to go with the pure color. Add a touch of yellow. And we're going to start where our horizon line starts. And we're going to do, this is exaggerating, but we're going to do just little circle, little C's, upside down C's. So just get your texture and just get used to it. Start out light, and if you need more pressure, add more pressure. Keep moving around. Otherwise, you can get a block of paint, and it's kind of a pain in the butt to get rid of. So yeah, just kind of go in there and do it what you will. If you like a calm water, then you can do straight lines. Just make sure they're horizontal to the painting. You can add color. Say we need a little bit of red in there. Just right in your area, right in here, just add the color. And then we're going to basically map out where the wave is going to be. Now, so go back to pure white if you can find it. And you want this to stay pure white because you got to sit there and you can draw this with a filbert, draw it with a fan brush, however you want. You just want to get where you wave and which way your wave is crashing. So you'll start out with the top of the wave and then work your way in and out of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to go that the wave is going to go to the left. So I'm going to establish my arc, my turn, lift out of it, and then this one I'm dragging out to where it's going to go. So all the paint. So now here's the wave. It's going to crash over. And then it's going to fade away. Okay? And you're just going to kind of blend that in with the brush. Leave some dark areas because you need it to show depth. Looks like we got a little too much of the liquid clear on it. Got some drips here, but that can be a design element. A dripping wave. I don't know. Whatever we want to do. You can use Laquine with this. It doesn't react as much. But if you add terp, it has a violent reaction. And it's actually really cool. You can make like wood textures and then paint over it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically get a little bit of white, a little bit of this green, and I'm going to make the eye, what's called the eye of the wave here, okay? So I'm basically just taking it and I'm going to make circles and just steadily work that eye. Okay. Then I'm going to turn around and grab my big brush, blending again, knock it off. I'm going to turn to Blue Man Crew. And just scab the tip, it's just the very top of the brush, and it's a very light touch. Just blend it. You're barely touching. You want to blend that out softly. If you have a hard time with that brush, you can always pick up a blender brush that's meant to do this, and it's real soft. And do it like that. Then if you don't like that or you want it brighter, go in to your white again, a little bit of the yellow, and just do it again until you get the brightness that you want. Don't want it too bright with the way we're doing the clouds right now, because you're not going to have a lot of light coming through just with the composition of the of the sky and stuff. So we'll blend it again. And you got to know how the wave is moving. So you want your brush strokes to show your movement in that wave. Otherwise, it's going to counter react with the movement, and it could cause chaos, which if you want that, that's fine. But I've only found that in storms on the water. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my filbert now, and I'm going to come in on this, and I'm going to establish some wave area. Again through here. Smaller crest. You can do with this with the fan brush as well. And basically what you're going to do now is I'm going to switch to the fan brush, and you're going to do the C, and you're going to blend it out. So your movement, barely touching the canvas, leaving the dark space and allowing that just to kind of blend back. When you get back to these smaller ones, just kind of soften them up. If you don't like it, come in there with the darker blue, and if you have black on your canvas, you can do it like that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just blend this back just to soften it up just a little bit, because you want your main focus to be your wave. I'm going to come in here. Come in here with the filbert brush and stay pure white on this now, and bring the wave over. Okay, then you can blend that down a little bit to where it's not as harsh. I'm barely skimming the canvas. We're going to need some dark now to show the splashing of the waves. So we're going to go with a blue and a alizarin crimson. We're going to get a violet. See, you don't know it until you actually put some white to it to see what it's going to do. So we're just going to go in here and make some areas like parts of a wave. And I've got to have dark to show light. Pick out the brushes. And let it just go through. You'll get it in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend that out just a tad. And now I'm going to go in with the pure white. Switch back to my fan brush. Go into the pure white again. Try not to contaminate the white on this one. It's kind of important. So. And this stuff is like butter. It's thick, it's thing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the tip of it and I'm going to push up. Get that effect. Clean the brush again. Get some more white. Now if you have linseed oil, you know, a thin paint will stick to a thick paint. And you ain't gotta go real detailed into this, you know, you can just have some fun. So I'm gonna go back to blending again. I'm gonna blend only the bottom part of it because I want to soften that, but I want to leave the texture of that wave crashing for the general purpose of, you know, for texture and movement and everything like that. It's just how a wave is done. Get down there. Darn hairs. Okay, so now you actually got to get to doing some, what I call the fun part. Take your script liner brush, which is the very long handled brush. See it right there. It comes to a tip. You'll need a lot of turp. Doesn't matter if it's tinted or not, because it's just gonna, you're just thinning it down. You'll need this due to the fact of getting the paint to flow off the tip of the brush. Because what you're gonna do is you're just gonna be doing some thin stuff. It's almost like the consistency of ink and how ink flows, and you'll want that. So come in here and make sure it goes to a tip, roll it out to a tip, and then you can come in here and just have the nerves. And you know, you got the foam patterns coming in there and different things like that. Go up to the eye. You know, make them horizontal, they're coming up into the wave, disappearing. You're just going to lay these in and then turn around, and you can lighten them or darken them. You can come in with the dark color and do the same thing, which I'll do that here in a minute. So I'm putting more movement and texture into the painting. You know, this is where you just get to have fun and do what you feel is combatant with the idea that you have. Okay, you can do that, and then you can come back in here and highlight some of the top of the waves. Keep reloading your brush if you don't have enough paint. Okay. And here we're going to go back to our circles, our C's. Add some more highlight. If you make a mistake, you can blend it out. Okay, I want to leave this side kind of dark, so where it has a focus where it's going to pull you back into the painting. Grab your blender brush, barely hit it. Alright, and then we can go in with some dark colors right into the eye of the wave and pull down, make a harsh line, or not a hard line, but kind of an outline real light and sketchy. Just to kind of highlight get that separation a little bit better. Then you can go in here and pull down or pull up. Just kind of bracing my hand because I'm using the very tip of the brush. Last minute detail type deal. Go back to whatever brush I decide to go to. And go back into the white. And say you have this trouble area here. And go in and just, you know, put some texture in it. Kind of getting your eye away from that big black area. Come in here and let this wave texture out. And you know what? To me, looks like it's done. I'm gonna go ahead and sign it. I just put a little mark in the same spot every time. And we're done. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hope you guys can learn some techniques from this. And I'll come up with some more paintings, maybe wet on wet. Maybe you go into some different type of techniques. Maybe get into some palette knives and see how to work a palette knife painting. And start doing some stuff that I have ideas about. Hopefully we can do later. My name is David Leverett. You can Facebook me. Last name is spelled Leverett. And you can see my work on Art for Life Change. And if you need to contact me through Facebook. But here's another place where you can see all my artwork. I do painting of acrylic, watercolor, or acrylic, oils, murals, pen and ink work, wood carving, wood burning, and pastels. So it's a variety of things, so I just like to show different techniques. Thank you and have a good day.
You say one thing about